Hey y'all, it's me Jalissa and I'm back with another video. This video is more of a I'ma just say what I need to say type of video. What comes to my head comes to my head. I just know I have something I need to tell y'all about, okay? And it's kind of my story. Whatever comes, okay? I'm comfy, we're on FaceTime, that's what it's giving. But anyways, so y'all, I am feeling so wonderful, so amazing. Last night, I think I went through another type of awakening or something because I feel as if I found myself more and I truly, really understand myself on a deeper level and know. And this is due to astrology, okay? Not tropical astrology, but sidereal astrology. And I dove deep into astrology around 5 years ago, 2020. I was so deeply in love with it. I researched everything about myself, every chart, and every placement. And, you know, I made it resonate with me. I feel that the reason why it resonated with me so well was because that was just a little aspect of myself that I was projecting at the time. And I think because it was so long ago and so early in my life, I was still connected to, my lower self, my ego self. So I made it work for me. But truthfully, like to the core on the inside, it's not me. What my tropical birth chart was expressing. Before last night, I felt kind of wishy-washy, not completely lost, but you never know how lost you once were until you really find yourself, if you know what I mean. So it's not that I truly felt completely lost, but it's the fact that I wasn't aware of how lost I was and that I could really understand myself more. And what happened was I was guided to dive deep into my sidereal birth chart. So first I learned more about sidereal, and someone told me tropical astrology is like standing for the trap astrology, okay? And sidereal is the side that is real, right? Obviously, like, I understood and I believe that, but I never took the time to really dive deep into it for myself and understand myself on a deeper level with it and see if it resonates. So what I did, so this is just your signs. If you're an astrology lover, go into your sidereal chart and you're gonna find a different type of enlightenment. Okay, that's how I genuinely feel. Like, I found myself and I dove deep into it. I journaled about it. I broke down every aspect, and I'm just saying, like, wow, I can't believe that I was making this tropical chart resonate with me. It's as if I was just forcing it, Because I mean, I haven't dove deep into my birth chart since 3 years maybe, or over that time. Like, I just assumed things and kept it going, and after I dove deep into it, I would look at this and look at that. Some things do resonate for sure, but you don't know how much more it can resonate till you know what I'm saying. So what happened was I dove deep into my sidereal birth chart, and the reason why sidereal astrology is more accurate is because, hey y'all, here's what I wrote in my notes just so it makes more sense. Sidereal astrology uses the actual placement of the planets against the constellations. Tropical astrology uses the vernal point as the start of 0 degrees of Aries. The problem with this is that the vernal point of the spring equinox has not been 0 degrees of Aries in a long time. Because of the precession of the equinoxes, the Earth wobbles very slowly over 26,000 years. In doing that, it changes which constellation it is on the horizon during spring equinox. So the constellation is always changing, y'all. This is why 0 degrees Aries is not just the only accurate way to do astrology. So why do astrologers still use tropical? I know there's some benefits from it, but this is just what resonates more with me. Sidereal astrology follows the time, like follows the movements with the constellations and the sun, something like that. I could be kind of off, but I'll link where I learned about it from. But it was something like that. Anyways, I journaled it down, so I'll just show y'all what I wrote. I'll put it on the screen, but it's something like that. Anywho, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna dive deep to every placement I have, but before I do, I'm gonna explain who I am. I journaled it down, so I'll just show y'all what I wrote. I'll put it on the screen, but it's something like that. Anywho, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna dive deep to every placement I have. But before I do, I'm gonna explain who I am to myself first. So first I journaled about who I truly feel that I am and how I reflect, how I show up in my own world, because I know how I behave. I know how I am, okay? Like, I just know myself. I'm very in tune. I'm very intuitive. I'm very spiritual. I'm very emotional. I'm very sensitive. I'm very psychic. And I love spirituality. I love taking care of myself. I'm very dedicated. And yeah, okay, I always do my best to just be my best, literally. So I know who I am. So I wrote and journaled how I see myself and how I show up in my own world. And then I took let me tell y'all something. Take in that I tried to make ChatGPT translate my sidereal chart for me and calculate it without me just giving out the placements. Because yes, I had the placements ahead of time, but I wanted to see if ChatGPT could calculate it for me just to get that other perspective as well. And ChatGPT had an error. It isn't programmed to calculate your sidereal chart. And now we can ask, why is that? Remember what we called sidereal, the side that is real, right? So, and you got to remember, in this matrix, in this system, they do not want us to get access to the things that will actually serve our highest purpose. They want us to be trapped in believing things and following these systems that keep us in our ego, keep us in a level that will not help us to ascend. So I'm not surprised that ChatGPT can't calculate sidereal. So what I did was I had to give it all my placements, all my places, all my houses, and it did a wonderful, amazing job. Goes in depth. It broke me down amazingly. And I'm not gonna share everything and all that with y'all, but I just want to say that I just felt enlightened. And now I could really be myself and see myself. And it's crazy that it took this, but it's such a wonderful, powerful thing to learn about yourself. And you cannot relate with it until you experience for yourself. If you really learn about yourself, not learn about the external, learn about you on the internal level, who you are. It's such an empowering thing. And I did ask in meditation for me to learn about who I was on my birthday. My birthday was a few days ago, and it came. It's one of those things. If you ask, you will receive. So I'm grateful, and I want to share that so you guys can look into your sidereal chart and analyze it. Send each placement to ChatGPT. Dive deep about it. Ask questions. Go deeper. Go deeper. Go deeper. And it's so, what's the word? It feels like a breath of fresh air, because all this time it's as if I just found clarity. It's just as if all this time I've been acting in a way that's not fully me, because our tropical way, like when we do believe in astrology, you are pushing yourself to act in a way that you are that's in your subconscious mind. Like, you don't do this consciously, but just believing that you are for example, a Leo moon, you're going to subconsciously start to behave like a Leo moon. That's just how it works. So me feeding into my tropical astrology, believing that I am this, I am that, subconsciously I believe that I was acting more that way, or if not even acting that way, I was just more confused, just more wobbly, because it's telling me this, it's telling me that I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to be like that, but there's something missing. So I do think it's related to the ego. So I do also think that if your sidereal chart does not fully resonate with you, you could be still expressing the ego side of you, or the lower self side of you, and there's more inner work for you to do to connect with your sidereal side, because that's the astrology that actually follows the the equinox, like the proper placements of the constellations on when the equinox touches the sun, when sunrise happens. Yes, that's how it is. When the sunrise happens on the spring equinox, the constellation that it's on, so it's the vertical point or something like that. And yeah, so sidereal follows it, while tropical keeps us stuck and stagnant because it hasn't been following the constellations. So I can't go in depth about this because I don't want to share all of my information, but I just wanted to really tell you guys that it's going to really empower you and just make you feel happier and more connected with yourself. And who does not want that? Oh my gosh, I'm just very, 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 very happy, y'all. And I just had to share that with you. I love y'all so much. And I know I don't make astrology videos, but I might get into it eventually. This is still my new channel. But thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. Bye, y'all. Yes, I just remembered something I was saying. I was saying that you have to remember that in this system, they do not want what's best for us, meaning all the things that will help us ascend is hidden, which is why ChatGPT doesn't have sidereal calculations unless you punch it in yourself and give it step by step each, or just give it each placement. It can do that for you. But a lot of things are like that in this life, and that's why we need to use our discernment. Remember that they will always push things that will not serve us to their fullest extent. Okay, every single thing is pushed, while the things that are actually the best for us are there being hidden. Okay, you gotta go and dive deep to find those things and use your discernment and go within. So that's it, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment down below, subscribe to my channel. I love y'all. Bye.